All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Washington Redskins and the Houston Texans. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. This is taken at the 3. Touchdown, Washington. The kick return touchdown goes for 97 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 7-0. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Watch that in. Watch that in. That is right. You got 3 down.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. So much for staying ahead of the chains with a 3 or 4 yard gain on first down. They moved the chains with a nice little run.
Yeah, they're making the chain gang hustle a little bit to try and keep up, aren't they? Because a lot of the first series of games are scripted, many times to probe and find some holes in the defense. Sometimes you attack with some big-time runs, too.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They run it with Carson, and very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
From just shy of midfield, Watson, the catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
On first down, it's Carson, and he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. And he's going to be stopped close to the first down marker at about the Redskins' 27.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watson on third down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Fabian Moreau. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you. Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll run with McCaffrey. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
And the Redskin first down.
Haskins looking to throw on first down. That'll be caught. It's Steven Sims. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 29-yard line.
Here we go. Touch the outlaw. You. Check.
On 2nd and 9, Haskins into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Bear in mind they had 2 interceptions last week, but that was in 4 quarters. They've got 2 here in the first quarter alone.
And the unsung people in this streak, the pass rushers, because most of the time, they're the ones that affect things in the pocket for a quarterback, trying to throw the football, rushing them, getting them off their spot, harassing them, and that allows the defensive backs, the linebackers to swoop in and make the picks downfield.
And they're swooping. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Watson on first down. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Preston Smith, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. 3rd down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here. After 1st and 2nd down went backwards, it's 3rd and very long. Here's Watson. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. Nowhere to go that time. It's a 46-yard punt with a loss on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Haskins. They'll rifle this one deep. It's caught inside the 25. A huge play there for Washington. 54 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Following the penalty, it's Geis. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Darius Geis with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. On 2nd and 1, Watson gets this one to Juszczyk. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end, you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he'll go out of bounds finally at the 7. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. And even 40 yards.
1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. To throw is Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Darren Waller, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, watch the slant. 52. Watch 52. 52's the mark. Watch the run. Watch the run. Hey, watch 52. Watch 52.
On 2nd down, here's Haskins. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a run with Geis, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it. Hey, check.
Geis with a carry on 2nd down. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Haskins will throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
He'll field this at the 5. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Now a first down throw, Watson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 11.
All right, T, let's go. All right, T.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
That's another Sims first down. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Mike, set. Hey, check.
On 1st down, Watson. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And how about that for just running out the clock? And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Final play of the half. It's Haskins. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up. And we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. They run the counter. Carson. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They run again with Carson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 12 at the 46-yard line.
This is set. 18. Watch the screen. Pass.
Out of the gun, Watson. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Zerline good with a PAT, and we are tied at 14. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Check 3, check 1.
Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Tyus Bowser able to record his 5th sack of the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure it out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's had it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And now a shot into coverage downfield is complete. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. 89 yards. And the Texans have taken the lead.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Slings this deep for McLaurin. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They'll They'll try and get it with Geis. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
It's a gain of 6. First down, Washington.
Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 10 yards there, good for a Redskin first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Tackle made by Tyus Bowser.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 2nd and 9, Haskins, and that's complete. It's Sims. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Haskins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. Open man here, Sims complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Haskins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Steven Sims, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. A very important extra point there, up and good, and an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
A very solid gain of 27. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. Here's Carson. Powerful running. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On 2nd down and 4, Watson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 4. Well, they took a shot there and tried to get it downfield, 4th quarter tie game.
Tried to get it in one chunk, didn't they? Wanted to get into field goal range, as you noted. But good reactions back deep, forcing the incompletion.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Watson. And he comes back with one complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 19. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Watson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Tighten up. Pick the edge. Nice 31. Nice 55. Check.
This is Carson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Alert. Kill.
Watson from the gun. He'll throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big play there out of Geis. 65 yards.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
From the gun, it's Haskins. Eluding the pressure right toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Here's Haskins. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Steven Sims Jr., his second touchdown of the night. And the Redskins are going to retake the lead. McManus's point after is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going.
Check 31, check 31.
Watson now to throw. Able to find Waller. That's complete. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Set, 19. Hey. Under team, record.
Now it's Watson, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Reuben Foster, the former national champion at Alabama, gets in for the sack. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Watch safety creep. Safety's creeping.
Now Watson. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the 2nd quarter, he may very well have run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
He's back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Now a run with McCaffrey. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. This is Geis, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down.
65. Mike 59.
Haskins to throw. Forced out to his left. Going to take a shot for Gallup, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
He got 29 yards that time.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Watson. That's going to be caught. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
Watch the twit. He's coming.
They'll try to run with Carson, and he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Dancing to it. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that gives them a 3-point lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 34-yard
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One to get yourself in position for the second one.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Now McManus for the extra point. I was just about to say he had missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'd be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Redskins, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.